What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic day. And I just wanted to make a little bit of a rant video. You know, I'm sure you guys have all played Tactics Ogre for a good amount of time. And there's some classes, some units that you like. You know, you find them very good, and there's some units, some classes that annoy you, or maybe you just can't get them to work, or you don't like the way they play. You know, for whatever reason, there are classes that you don't prefer or you find kind of lacking compared to other ones. Whether that is, you know, technically correct by the majority standards or not, you know, you have your favorites and you have your ones you dislike. Well, I want to go over a couple of the classes that I dislike, that I find kind of meh, and that I don't really like using. So, keep in mind, these are just my opinions. This is not a fact. I'm not attacking your favorite class, I promise. So no hate if you enjoy the class. This is just my personal preference. And I would love to hear what classes you guys dislike. What classes are annoying to you, or you find just not fun to play, or just not very useful. You know, I love to have these open discussions and discuss the game and talk about this game because this game's awesome. And I think just talking about things and having a discussion is fun. So let's get into it. First class that I dislike is the Ranger. The Ranger is I can't justify the Ranger. I can't he borrows from so many classes like Vice, and Vice as a character. I mean, a lot of people don't even like Vice anyway. But the Ranger borrows from so many classes that it just sucks at everything because it doesn't really specialize. Like, Lobber is the only thing that saves this class from literally being the worst class in the game, in my opinion. You know, double attack's nice, I guess. You know, and first aid's cool. Like, I mean, it's, you know, not too many people get that, but it's just not, you know, it becomes more useful, like, you know, more post-game, you know, once you get into, like, the CODA, and I'm sorry, guys, you know, and I was going with a one hand, and I don't remember what else I had on him, and I was gonna go dual daggers, and I didn't really get too far leveling those up, and he's so basic. I mean, you know, I can take Lobber and I could turn him into like a debuffer, kind of like what a Beast Tamer would be, but I think the Beast Tamer is more useful with Lobber, honestly. And I mean, like a stat comparison, so these are pretty much the stat growths of the Ranger when you first get it. Pretty close. I mean, I haven't swapped classes at all. So, like, looking at my Beast Tamer, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to have a side-by-side to really compare, but the stats don't really seem much higher. They all seem to be about evened out, you know, on the stat growths on it and stuff. Like I said, I can't get behind the Ranger. There is, the birds are, you know, they're kind of in agreement. They're kind of in the back for going, yeah, same here, you know. So, I mean, if the birds agree, then, like, there's no debate that this class is, it's if I had a tier list of classes, this would be number 2. This would be number 2 worst class in the game, in my opinion. Worst, most meh. Is it viable? Yeah, it's viable. It has a place, I guess. You know, I mean, like I've said many times, there is no class in the game that is literally useless and not worth playing. Like, you can make a Ranger work. I mean, obviously, people have told me what they do. I just, with all the other options and choices, and I can't. And people said, you know, we do double daggers for the finisher and stuff, and, you know, he hits better, and, like, you're right, you're probably right, but if Lobber's all he has, I mean, I don't know, I'm crazy, man, I guess. But yeah, Ranger would be the second worst class, right behind. Now, worst as in, like, my opinion. Keep in mind, he's viable, he's playable. None of these are not playable. So he would be the worst if it wasn't for this other class, the Octopus. The Octopus is by far number 1, my opinion, 100%. You will never change my mind. The most useless class in the game. I guess useless is the word I'm going to use. Not very playable a lot of the time. that's kind of how I rate classes too, how playable they are, especially over other classes, because you can only bring 10 to 12 units, sometimes only 8 units to a battle. So a class has to be really playable for you to want to bring it into battle. And if it doesn't have a lot of options for playability, you don't want to use it. Now, I know you're going to say, but Poison Rain. Yeah, Poison Rain's great. Poison Rain's awesome. The problem with Poison Rain is it costs a lot of MP, 50 MP, which is, mind you, pretty much half of the total MP of this unit. And it doesn't poison as well. It misses so much because the mine stat, as you can see, 129, is just pathetic. I don't think a single unit has lower than 129 in my roster. Even ones that don't debuff. I don't think we have a single unit with one. Yeah, nobody has lower. He has the lowest mind in the game. And if anybody knows how to play the game, for a debuff success chance, it compares your mind to the unit's mind that you're trying to debuff. And there's a check that happens, and you know that determines the success chance. So having higher mind is always a good thing. And the octopus lacks in intelligence, I guess, and mind power. But, you know, an AoE poison's good. And the major factor, though, it's not even the octopus's skill set that makes it bad. It's the fact that it relies on water tiles. Yeah, you got Aqua Veil, which is a auto skill proc. This should just always be on. Like, if this was always activated, you had to equip it, but every turn it procced. Then I would change my whole opinion about the octopus. But anybody that's played this game knows how very few battles water is around. Sure, water's around in like Frampa Wildwood, you know, a couple of the overworlds, but, you know, Palace of the Dead has maybe a little bit, a couple water areas, not too many, you know, and the elemental temples, I don't recall any water in those. So, like, I'm just saying, this character, this unit, is very map dependent, very battle dependent. You need water for it to work. What other unit in the game needs a specific tile to work? And not only that, the water has to be kind of around the map. You can't have a little puddle or a little lake over there in the corner, because what's the octopus gonna do? Just sit there and wait for the enemy to come? You know what I mean? So that's the biggest downside. It's not even the skill set. I really like the skill set. I like a lot of these abilities. I think they're neat. I wish he had more, like, you know, passives and stuff, and Black Mucus is kind of fun, you know, for memes and stuff, I guess. Who knows? But that is the major problem. No unit in the game needs a specific tile to function other than the octopus, and it's a huge downside. And the birds are just giving me a round of applause in the background, so I think it's my time to wrap it up here. But let me know, what do you guys think? What units do you guys despise the most? Do you have more than 2? Are there like 3, 4, or 5? These are the main 2 that I just cannot get around. I cannot tolerate. I just find them to be... I do use an octopus when there's a water map, though. I will be fair. So I actually, I hate the octopus more than the ranger, but I use it more. So that's kind of funny, isn't it? But let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts and opinions? Who do you hate the most? What is your most disliked class? Let me know down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, later, guys. Peace.